What's up, Zips fans? Zach Leininger here, and today I'm sitting down with head coach of the men's basketball team, John Groce. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Zach. Glad to be here.
All right, good. So looking back at last season, your team was able to win the MAC championship for the second time in your career here at Akron. Describe what that moment was like for you.
Well, it was a special moment to start out with that class of seniors, highlighted by Freeman and Greg Tribble and Dawson and, obviously Ali coming back, and then the additions of Caleb Thornton, who was a senior, and Sammy Hunter, who was with us for 2 years, was also a senior. Just a really, really special group of guys, great guys. Dick Bennett used to always say, and still does probably, that you've got to be able to recruit guys that you not only feel comfortable winning with, but you feel comfortable losing with, because you're going to get knocked off every once in a while. And that's certainly the case with those guys I just mentioned. And for them to win 3 championships in 5 years and to have the all-time winningest class over a 5-year period by percentage in school history is phenomenal. So it'll be something maybe when, Zach, I retire, I can enjoy a little bit more and reflect upon maybe more. But right now, obviously, we're in the midst of preparation, for the 24-25 season. But, we're excited. We have the banner unveiling on opening night against Ohio Wesleyan on November the 9th on a Friday night. We're looking forward to that opportunity. We'll hand out the rings. And anytime you have a ring ceremony or an unveiling of a banner, it's pretty special. We certainly don't take that for granted, and want to honor that team and just a great group of guys that night.
So speaking of, one of those guys from last season, one guy that gained a lot of notoriety in his time as a Zip, and even managed to get drafted to the NBA this past June, was Enrique Freeman. So I'm curious what your thoughts were on what it was like coaching a player like that and seeing him develop over the years he was here.
Yeah, no, it was really special. I think when you combine Enrique's humility with his work ethic, with his motor and the way he attacks everything from the perspective of wanting to be excellent at it on a daily basis, his ability to care for his teammates, cares about winning, adding value to winning. The student that he was, bachelor's degree, master's degree, MBA, as a matter of fact, president of SAC, and Student Athlete Council. He cared about other people at such a high level, his teammates, his family, the other students on our campus, the other student athletes. I mean, he just is so unique. And I think the biggest reason for that is the first characteristic I mentioned, Zach, is his humility. There's zero entitlement with him, which is really rare. Certainly just a special guy. We're looking forward to honoring him. February 18th, we're going to have an opportunity to hang his jersey number in the rafters, and that'll be a really special night for him, his family, and for our program.
Wow. So, switching gears back to this upcoming season, you already mentioned it a little bit, but how has the team been adjusting after losing those 5 key seniors that you mentioned?
We have great guys. I really mean that. Good dudes. We have 9 newcomers. It's the most I've ever had as a head coach. I think we're in an environment where there's so much volatility right now that you're going to see that fairly frequently. It just kind of is what it is. So we're working on the chemistry piece. Ironically, congratulations to our Akron men's soccer team for winning the Big East Midwest Division Championship. And I think if you had asked people outside of those guys and their staff who believed the entire time, how were things looking during the non-conference, other people may have been singing a different tune. What people don't realize is in today's environment with the volatility of rosters, when you're a team sport like men's soccer or basketball or whatever you might be alluding to that has a team or a connectedness part of it, that the chemistry is vital to their success. With as much volatility as it is now, we're going to have to be a little more patient. We also have to think about how to coach them a little bit differently, make it a little bit more simple for them. But that's kind of the reality of it. We've got great guys. I think we're really talented. I think we're really deep. Maybe the deepest team we've had since I've been here. but we've got to figure out how to play offense and defense together and share in that together in a connected way. I do think we're better now than we were certainly when we started, but still have a ways to go.
All right. So of those 9 guys you brought in, you mentioned those newcomers. One of those guys happens to be your own son, Connor.
Yeah.
And I was just curious, as I was thinking about this, what's it like seeing your son get these opportunities, not just as his coach, but just as his father as well?
Blessing. It really is. I think about my father passed in May, and that was really hard. And I spent a lot of time with him towards the end. I wish I'd have spent even more prior to that. And I think it's really given me some perspective with the opportunity to coach him this year, and just having him around. I love having him around and being able to share in the experience with them, spending more time with them is such a blessing.
So keeping it more on a personal note, in your 16 years as a head coach, you've amassed a 60.2 winning percentage. How have you been able to maintain such a level of consistency and success?
Well, I think a lot of it starts, number one, with just having really good players. And I don't mean just ability. I mean really good people. We were talking about that class that just finished over the 5-year window here at Akron, highlighted with those seniors. But, good people, we've had good people, have good staff, good support staff. You got to have good community support, good administrative support. I've been really blessed to have some great administrators. So it really does. It takes a lot of people are involved in winning. It's not just, that's what I think what makes it the most fun is it's not just one person. Everybody has to be, and they hear me say it all the time, an NBA all-star in their role. Everybody. And here at Akron, we have a lot of great people that are good at what they do and contribute to the winning that you've talked about, especially here over the last 5 years. But a lot of it starts with that. Certainly I've got a great family, my wife and my 3 kids. You mentioned Connor, but Camden and Kate. And they're very supportive and allow me to coach a kids game. It's fun. I enjoy going to work every day. But it takes an insurmountable amount of commitment. It really does. I don't think people understand. I get the question all the time, what are you doing the season's over? It's a lot of hours. There's a lot of sacrifices our family makes. There's some things I have to miss that quite honestly, it bothers me at times. I have to miss, maybe it's a recital for my daughter, a gymnastics meet in Orlando that's coming up, for example, comes to mind. Some of my son's games last year as a senior. So those are some of the sacrifices that you make, but it takes what it takes. Winning takes what it takes. It takes a great commitment, not just, from our staff, but from our support staff, our players, and everybody around it. And I think a lot of people have had a hand in that winning.
It takes a village, yeah.
It does. Yeah, I say that all the time, and I think it's really true.
All right. So one final question just to finish things up here. Akron is set to play in 3 nationally televised games this year, along with the MKE tip-off that's happening in Milwaukee this December.
Yeah.
Explain the importance of those games and then just what you're looking to see out of the team.
Yeah, sometimes, Zach, when I look at our schedule, I think, what the heck was I thinking? I don't think people understand unless you follow basketball how good our schedule is. I think it's as good as any of the years I've been here. You've got Arkansas State on the road on opening night. They're predicted to win the Sun Belt. They're ranked in the preseason mid-major top 25. We've got at St. Mary's, who's picked second in the West Coast Conference behind Gonzaga, that's getting votes for the top 25. We've got them on the road. They're also in that mid-major top 25. In fact, they're in the top 5. You have Northern Kentucky, who's picked to be 3rd in their league, that plays a very tricky matchup zone, here at home. We've got Milwaukee, you mentioned, at Fiserv, in an NBA arena, which will be great for our guys. They're picked to win the Horizon League. They're ranked in the mid-major top 25. Yale's ranked in the mid-major top 25. They're picked 2nd in the Ivy League behind Princeton, who we also play, who's getting votes for the top 25, and play them on the road, play Yale on a neutral. And that doesn't even include the Sun Belt home game because you don't know who you're going to get in February. And so it's a loaded schedule. And you mentioned the 3 national television opportunities that have already been earned by our guys and our team. And there's more to come because there's more 21-day pick'ems. Certainly the second Kent game will get a national television opportunity and maybe some others. So this is certainly a blessing. It's a great opportunity. I always tell our guys you get the opportunity to play on a Friday night in the MAC. We call it Friday Night Lights. and national TV. You want to be on national TV, you got to be one of the better teams. You got to play well. And so, I think right now it's more of a reflection of how we played previously, getting these opportunities. Hopefully we'll earn that right to have even more national television opportunities to spread a positive light on such a great city and a great place, a great university. We're obviously a small part of the whole, and those opportunities, I think, give us an opportunity to shine a very positive light on the University of Akron.
All right. Well, that'll just about do it for this interview. I just want to thank Coach Groce again for sitting down with us.
Anytime.
Best of luck moving forward. And as always, go Zips.